you go feel the vibe. Experience, you go feel the vibe. Tell them, experience. Feel that experience. Odum bring that experience. So link and vibe with the experience.
This week on Experience with Odum.
I heard you sold some stuff.
Yeah. I sold tomatoes on my head for 4 good years. Just to keep the family running.
That was which age?
I think from 10 years to 14 years.
That's child labor.
Yeah, well, if for Chame Kwame is pushing a skate to do music. My mom was selling tomatoes, so he wanted me to pursue the tomatoes career.
Plus,
the Bidoskers, the DKBs and co had to fight so hard to get their name registered in the minds of people. Until we came, they had laid the foundation. Then when we came to build on their foundation. They are still in the game, holding the fort now.
On Experience with Odum today, the man who says he's too cute to be mute, Lekzy DeComic.
Thank you very much for staying tuned with us, and welcome back to Experience with Odum. So before we went on a commercial break, I learned Lekzy brought with him a fowl. So we had to go on a quick commercial break so that he can safeguard his fowl. That is why we had to go on a commercial break. Lekzy, what's up?
I came with a cock.
A cock?
Yeah. And you also have a cock.
Okay, so about that?
We both have a cock.
Cock?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a cock. I don't know what you mean by I have a cock. I don't wear cocks.
On this note, the ladies watching.
No, I don't wear
cocks. Have a cock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Focus on me, forget this gentleman. I have a cock.
Lekzy, you are one of Ghana's greatest mimic actors.
Yeah.
How did it start for you? Like, because I know you're a stand-up comedian. We know you to be a stand-up comedian, but in recent times, we see you doing a lot of mimic acting. When did you realize your potential to do mimic acting aside stand-up comedy?
Okay, so whoever has been observing my career since I started from day one would realize that I do some of these things in my presentation when I'm on stage, but I didn't see it as a strength until I was introduced to TV. And the whole concept of the TV show was to play roles of the personalities who were trending or who are trending within the week and the review. So I just get into character and do it. I didn't know it would turn out to be this good, but I think so far from the response I'm getting, I'm doing a great job.
Yes, so speaking about a TV show, how is it going? How is it going with you?
So far, so good. We started on radio. Big shout outs to Plus FM. During the COVID time, my brother and I, that's Obi Aponsa. He wasn't really a friend. People think we go way back. We were just colleagues in the industry. So I think we caught up in a conversation one time where we were all like harbored in our rooms not to go out. And he called, and I realized we all share the same sentiment, like we are depressed, we don't get the opportunity to perform. Not necessarily money is the motivation for every comedian, but to see people laugh is the hope.
So you're emotionally depressed?
Yeah. And we couldn't even tell when we'll be allowed to perform anytime soon. So we're all in the room doing nothing with our lives. And sometimes you can even do a virtual comedy show. You know, some people can send you, they can perform, they will write LOL, but practically they are not even laughing. So you can't have the direct response like you want. So we wanted the visible audience to perform too. Then at some point he came and said, oh, there is an opportunity at Plus FM, their programs manager, and Anala, big shout outs to you wherever you are. He said, why don't we migrate this whole stage performance on radio? So that's where the journey started. So when we started on radio, we realized, no, there are millions of people who love to listen to us, but because we limit our performance to just an auditorium of 2,000 capacity, they don't get to listen to us. Now, people knew our voices, but they didn't know the face to the voice. So we took advantage of TV, presented an idea to GH1, and they didn't shake their head. They just gave us the go ahead, and here we are now. The birth of the House Your Show. It's out there.
The House Your Show.
Yeah.
how half and serious are you? Because when you say half serious show, looking at your height, but when we say you are half, that's why you chose the name half, because you don't look tall, like you are very half. Is that why you call yourself Too Cute to Be Mute? And is that how you have the name half?
I don't take offense to that, because among all biscuits, shortbread is the most expensive. Good things come in brief. Our president is quite.
But the president is taller than you, Lekzy.
Or you've never seen that.
I sure.
can confirm that.
Okay, anyway, so going through the archives, I went to a rapper back in school. Koforid's a secondary technical school, if I'm right.
The best secondary school in Ghana.
Arguably.
Yeah, not arguably.
To
the East University. We've raised giants, as
We've
you can
raised
see.
giants. But you're not a giant.
Whichever way. I don't know the spectacle through which you are watching it, but the giant in me is bigger than what you see from me.
Okay, so giant in you.
Yeah.
That's motivational.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can be deep. I don't attend deeper life.
Okay, so we had a rapper, a group called Backpage.
Backpage.
So, like, apart from comedy, like rapping, but what got into your mind that you wanted to do rap? Like, because I've seen videos of you do some rap on GH1, your show. Yeah. It was quite hilarious. Yeah. But what got you to do comedy and what got you to do rap? Give us a freestyle rap freestyle.
Okay, fine. So this one is the comical one I did recently, the Half Serious show too. So if you are checking it out on YouTube, you can go on the Half Serious page. We have our video clip on which my host. So because it's a comical rap, I didn't take it so serious. So abele bebe no me bube go for my obetedwe keke for subesi sudwe kri papa so show me yare get away of some be carry but the pedeke can be tired but you am work as a second chehwe eso so you go it's been a while I did that, but when we say let's get on the song and all those.
But you've been making TikTok a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think TikTok is the first character I mimicked on stage. Yeah, TikTok.
Okay, so back to our question. Why rap back in secondary school?
Okay, fine. So when I was in JSS, I used to learn the rap of...
the JSS?
JSS. Yeah.
St. Mark's.
St. Mark's Methodist Preparatory. Okay. I used to mimic other people, the raps of other people. So when I got to secondary school, I decided to pen down 1 or 2 lines. And I remember I told my school father I'm a rapper. My school father asked me, what am I contributing to the school as a student? And I said, I would rap. Because he gave me options. He said, either I want to smoke, I want to dance, I want to rap, or he gave me options. And I realized all won't favor. So I just opt for the rap.
So that was the inspiration?
Yes. So the moment I said I know how to rap, the next day he went to call for a battle. There was another senior who also had a school son who raps. So he called me and said, oh, Lekzy, Charlie, come and make that. So I don't know, when I got there, it's a start freestyle. The guy rapped. His style is more of like the quad style, like, I said, okay, fine. Then I got in and like, let your public create some better level, but we don't talk about when you're no day for jungle, and your ball look book, you wouldn't about tackle, what be your level, what be the hustle, what do you have, just some your couple, triple, fourple, but banning the dimple, Lekzy baby, what sounds like your couple, who have the same, when you're not munching saying. And I did that, then my school father carried me with his colleagues. I said, okay, fine, let me do this. Then I got to meet my few mates who are also into the music thing, stereo, jam, Sickle.
So that was Backpage.
Backpage. Then we formed the Backpage team, like crew. We need to sneak out to go record songs. But anytime we sit to rehearse before we go to the studio, my contributions to the song or whatever we are planning to go, they will laugh. They say they never take me so serious. They laugh. So after school, big shout outs to Jem. He was like the leader of the.
But do you think you were serious then?
I was just a good rapper. I even won the best rapper then. Yeah. Go for that sector. Our.
You won good rapper.
Best rapper.
Best rapper.
Yeah, best rapper then.
wasn't it? They're not like I don't get it.
No. This rap you are hearing now. 10 years ago, that was the ish.
Oh wow,
The Fedeka those. So it was like some ish then. So after school, he said, among us all, you have something extra than we have. Okay. That's the comedy thing. So I want you to pursue comedy.
So he actually killed your rap career.
He didn't. He realized the group, we were not going, okay, fine, let me tell them, I've never said it anyway. There was this Mr. and Mrs. S. Okay. They used to do some Mr. and Mrs. and Xmas Fiesta.
The 90s babies would understand. Yes.
And so they will bring musicians from other schools, you come and compete and you win. Mm-hmm. Then our group was made up of 4 people, but they needed a group of 3 people. Then my people exempted me out. So that day, they were in the conference hall and I was outside. I couldn't even pay to enter. Oh. And I was just hoping like they would win something. Mm-hmm. And they kept me at the back. But I don't know, for some funny, I think God was preparing me. He felt I shouldn't be part of the crowd. He wanted to exempt me alone on stage so that the glory would just shine on. I cried. I felt disappointed for them to just take me. I felt I was a better rapper than most of my colleagues.
So you felt they had backstabbed you?
Yes, in a way. But God had his own plan. So big shout outs to Jem. He still connected. He said, Lekzy, if you pursue comedy and you fail at it, I'll stop doing radio presenting. Then he was with Focus FM. Okay. And he put his career on the line as a radio presenter.
That's hard.
Yeah. That's hard. The level at which he believed in me. Like, I didn't even believe in myself that much. So he went to scout for a comedy show. That's Comedy Bar, hosted by James Brown, organized by Daniel Ato. Yeah. So I said, okay, fine, let me just go and perform. After my performance, if I feel I have nothing to lose, so that this guy will just stop worrying me. I got on stage within 2 minutes. I was given 2 minutes actually to perform. Then I saw them give me a standing ovation. Then James Brown, who gave me 2 minutes to perform, was there telling me that I should keep on performing.
So why are there?
Then I said, this is where I belong. I stayed there and I never turned back. And so every time I say it's Jem who discovered my talent, not me, but Daniel Ato, wherever he is, he held me down through the journey. We went there for about like 7 to 8 years.
That's so inspiring and touching. Yeah. For a comedian to give us a very touching story. I'm so much overwhelmed at this particular time. I feel like crying, but for the sake of
because of COVID, don't be too touched.
Yes, sure. So before we continue, let's go on a very quick commercial break, and we'll continue with the interview. Thank you very much, and stay tuned.
You go feel the vibe.
So you welcome back to the show. So as you all know, we're going straight into his way into comedy. Now we'll be delving backwards to his childhood days. So stay tuned as we get through his childhood days. So Lekzy, how was growing up for you? A young boy. Where were you raised as a young boy?
Okay, so I've lived all my life in Accra. It only took school to take me outside Accra. Okay. Yeah, I didn't grow up in a rich family or a poor family. At some point, there were some rough stuff going through.
I heard you sold some stuff.
Yeah. I sold tomatoes.
Tomatoes
on my head for 4 good years. Just to keep the family running. At some point, my dad lost his job. So the family had to come together.
Are you the firstborn?
I'm the firstborn.
How many siblings?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's tough.
Yeah. So anything to keep the family running, we had to do. My dad was doing his thing, just to keep cash inflow in there. So that was what we were.
That was which age?
I think from 10 years to 14 years.
That's child labor.
Yeah, well. If for Chame Kwame is pushing a skate to do music, my mom was selling tomatoes, so he wanted me to pursue the tomatoes career.
Yeah. I see. So, so from then, what was going to from primary? So selling tomatoes. What else?
Yeah. My big ups to my dad. In all our struggles, he never let us, in terms of education, he gave us the best education within his capacity. I never went to what you people call title, even within at the point where there wasn't any cash like that. I went to some of the big schools you could think of.
I could think of.
Yeah, you could think of. Yes.
Which one?
I actually went to Wiseway.
Wiseway.
Yeah, Wiseway. Abeka. It has collapsed.
And you say best.
And I went to St. Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where they are now. And I moved to Grace Preparatory, close to the First Light. Grace Preparatory.
Okay. I don't know that. I don't know that school.
I don't remember the last time they painted the school though. But the school is still.
Alexi, but you are saying that these schools are best schools.
And I went to St. Mark Methodist Preparatory, somewhere around there, Kumakokompe. Yeah.
That school also in Good State?
Yeah, that school. The church hasn't collapsed, so it is holding the school down. And I went to Kofodia Tech. Yeah, I went to do the best course.
Which is?
Color psychology.
Color psychology.
Visual arts.
That's what you call color psychology?
Yes, and I went to the best polytechnic now in university in Ghana. I always went to the best Takoradi Technical University now, then Takoradi Polytechnic.
What did you study at Takoradi?
Graphic design.
Graphic design. So you're a graphic designer?
Yeah, the botanical name is color psychology. Color psychology.
US.
And right now I'm pursuing humor therapy.
Humor therapy.
Yeah, I'm a humor therapist.
Do you have a clinic?
Yes, I do my sessions. It's occasions. Yeah, I do it occasionally. It's not like you can run into me and say, give me. Once in a while I do it. Some also say I'm a rib surgeon. I fix their ribs.
Lekzy, graphic designer. I want to ask, so you're a professional graphic designer?
I'm a professional graphic designer, but I don't have a laptop.
So how do you work?
Yeah, I wanted to do graphic design so bad until I went to Polytechnic. That was when I started doing comedy. When I was in Polytechnic, I was so much into the graphic designing thing.
Okay.
Then at some point, I was introduced to stand-up comedy.
So you geared away.
Then it took my interest off.
So you're not studying?
I don't practice it. Yes. I share my knowledge. If I ask you to do an artwork for me, I can give my critique, criticize it from the graphic designing point of view. You'll be amazed, but I don't practice it full time.
So why wouldn't you rather do your own artworks since you know how to critique?
Well, I can't do it all.
You can't do it all.
I can't do it all. So you have to let other people also invest their knowledge into your career. I can't do it all. But there is a dream that someday I'll own a big
separation of powers.
Yes, I'll have a big printing press with a graphic designing department, film department, whatever.
Wow.
Full time.
You have a vision.
Yeah, I have a vision, big time vision.
Big time vision. Okay, that's great. That's great. Like, you know, whenever I look at you, like I feel like whatever you're saying, it's part of comedy.
Oh no, that's a challenge. You see, even with women, they struggle. When you propose to them, they think it's a joke. You start taking off their pants, they think it's a joke. You impregnate them, they come and tell me, and I also take it as a joke.
Anyway, Lekzy DeComic. Okay, so I don't even want to even say again.
Okay, now let me blow my trumpet. Okay, fine. So to everybody watching this show, comedy is very profitable. Like previously, people would say Ghanaian comedians are not funny. Why? Because there was a certain agenda to push a certain market to Ghanaians. And Ghanaians, it's not just comedy.
But why do you think that there was, that's it, why do you think that there was a certain agenda to push other people from, Nigeria or whatever?
I never mentioned any name, but what I'm trying to say is, whether it was an agenda or not agenda, somebody saw business in what he was doing. I wouldn't say he had an extra motive. Sometimes you might not even have the motive, but maybe whatever you are doing might be like hindering the progress of some other person. But so I won't say it was an agenda, but there was a point that foreign comedians were pushed to us. Like the system was flooded with foreign comedians. But before that, they were introduced to us. We had the likes of the Commode, the Mogokales, the KSMs and co. And Ghanaians never said they were not funny. But to push a certain taste of comedy to you people, we had to condemn.
But that's an agenda, don't you think?
I don't want to give it tax.
Yeah, but that's an agenda.
Yes, I don't want to give it tax. But whichever way, I think that space pushed us to work more. I think at some point maybe we were. Well,
don't you think that at some point
I want to exempt myself because I was one of the few people who criticized comedy, GH comedy. I felt like they were not funny, and I was also part of the people who were saying it. Saying it like so loud. I was drumming it because I watch all these foreign comedians come to Ghana, and I feel like they are so funny.
So that means you feel that Ghanaian comedians are not.
At some I was, because I was made to believe that was why my friend at some point came into the picture and said, this thing people keep saying that GH comedians are not funny. You are funny. As a friend, I find you funny. Why don't you go in there and change the narrative? So he had a problem with the whole like.
But you didn't know you were funny at the time.
I thought like I just crack people like when friends meet. We told you
I guess you were very good at that when you were back in school. You move from class to class. While people are thinking, you decide to move from class to class to add jokes.
And sometimes even when entertainment is going on, like entertainment is going on proper, I can get people up, move outside the auditorium, just come and sit like around me. And I'll be entertaining them. I'll just have a normal conversation with them, and they'll just be laughing.
So, what was Pep was going on? People were studying the dad had paid school fees for you to go and then join Pep.
They thought I was making them laugh. I can come into your classroom. If I know Gerald, I'll just pass a comment on Gerald. The whole class will laugh. Then I move to the next class. So before I get to my class, everybody has to have a piece of the cake. Like I just give. And I'm good at naming people. I can give you some nickname.
I don't try and give me a nickname here, because from the way I'm seeing it, they are in the mood to give a nickname. So you.
Yeah. So that thing about Nigerian comedians are funny, or South African comedians are funnier than us, or whatever comedians were funnier than us, like triggered us to work extra hard because we were fighting with giants. So that was the time when David Oscars, the DKBs and co had to fight so hard to get their name registered in the minds of people. Until we came, they had laid the foundation. Then when we came to build on their foundation. They are still in the game, holding the forts now. So that's how come we came in. And when there was a narrative like comedy, there wasn't any money in comedy and all. I would say that's a lie. Because through comedy, I've been able to build a small cubicle for myself. Which I can see most of my colleagues that I completed school with, out of their certificates, are still like trying to put the pieces together. But through comedy, I'm doing it. There can
that's passion through business.
Yes. So I think we can still make more cash in comedy, even with the little I'm making. If I'm able to do something like that for myself, if the industry grows, gets to the level it's supposed to get to, I think everybody will be satisfied. From managers, event organizers, comedians, and everybody, it will be okay.
It's without doubt that you have won a lot of awards. Most emerging comedian of the year, Ghana Comic Awards. You won the People's Choice Awards, best comedian of the year, right? And you also won best emerging comedy show, Laugh Line.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
you're the host, right?
Yeah, and the Youth Empowerment Awards.
Okay.
Yeah, I won the best comedian of the year, I think 2018. Yeah,
so it means that your friend saw something good in you, and I think wherever he is by now would he would be satisfied and very proud of.
I think so. I think so. Well, everybody who saw me come into this game, I would say like they are really proud. Anybody who even contributed a line of advice to me would say, yeah.
I think you and your colleagues have raised the bar, the comedy bar, and I think people are now appreciating you chums as, one of Ghana's most best comedians. I mean, with your current TV show
Yeah.
and social media buzz and all that. Yes. Recently, we saw you on one of the shows. You and Clemento Suarez and Obi mimicking the late Johnny was Time of His Excellency and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Wallace. The late. What's you with you and mimicking all the time? I mean, I know I've asked that, but it baffles my mind when I see you doing a lot of the mimics.
There is more to me that I'm yet to discover, though. Well,
can you give us a line or two of you talking like Ejata the late or Mr. Pratt?
okay. So ask me a question. Politically.
Okay. So currently with the First Ghana agenda, what do you think the youth would have to do?
Kwame, that's it. Amemo Bonia Nkrumah Ebekun Yedi Free Oma Lima Betu as Kwame Arablaka. That was 1964. And no one Ekufu Dubai. Kumi Prego. Kwame. Na Ekufu Dubai wa yene tinti Kwame Arablaka.
Lekzy, thank you very much. You know what? There are a lot of people watching you, and you serve as a motivation to a lot of youth. On this platform, what we mainly do is that we get back into your time and for people to know how far you've come in your journey. A piece of advice to those who would want to pursue their passion through business, and those who are going through emotional stress or depression, because you said it earlier, you've been there before. So a little bit of advice for the youth out there who are also watching you.
The vision might be blurred. People might condemn you. Vision is entitled just to you. When you sleep, whatever you perceive, it was just given to you. A lot of people will condemn you because they don't see a clear direction or the prospect in your vision. Don't let that kill you. Because if they don't condemn you, meaning there is nothing worth like getting from whatever you are pushing. If everybody gets to praise you, say you are doing well, it is not worth the struggle. But when you persevere, push it, it will be worth it. I will tell everybody, if it is talent, look around. Wherever you can exhibit it, go for it. There was a point photography wasn't a thing. We just saw them as like people who are not. But now photography is a thing, comedy is a thing. Now the world is being driven a lot by talent. So whatever God has embedded in you, make sure you activate it and achieve to the fullest. That's the only way you can make it in life.
Right, that is the only way you can make it in life. You heard words of wisdom from Lekzy DeComic, one of Ghana's greatest comedians alive, the shortest one to be precise. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is Experience Odum, and I was your host, Gerald Odum. Thank you very much, and catch you same time on the other flip side of life.
You go feel the vibe. Experience. You go feel the vibe. Tell them. Experience. Feel that experience. Odum bring that experience.